Sunday morning, hallelujah. My legs are about shot. Third bike marathon this week. But you know, that's how we do it. I think I gotta tilt this one. I'm gonna fuck up my iPhone. So this is gonna be similar to the material that we did with the baston at the extremely close range. This will be in the Mano Mano section of the FMA Kali Abtik. So again, you know, this material comes from Kuntao, Kali, and Silat, and is I would say, mostly Kuntao or Chinese resource-based, but with blade awareness. And that's where the term, the Kali empty hand term comes in, is that there's weapon or blade awareness involved. And then from the perspective of our curriculum, basically the Silat stuff is the sweeping techniques, takedowns. All right, so, but not all of it, some of it, and influenced by it, facets of it. Okay, so by no means do I presume to be an expert in Silat, but some of my students are. All right, so what am I talking about? All right, so the basic idea here is that it's going to be defense against the same technique, but done in two different ways. And so basically the idea is that a straight punch is coming in, all right? And this will be familiar to it. You've seen it. I've touched upon the subject a little bit. This is a passing movement. This is a hit to the groin. And this is the forearm strike to the neck, all right? Now what's different here is that what we're going to do is that from this point, we will do that familiar step of zigzagging, but I will turn this now into what could be a choke, all right, a side choke. But again, that's not the reason we're doing it. However, we do want to get leverage and pressure, okay, just like we did before with the shoulder, the head, or the shoulder, all right? But then, of course, the idea is to, well, it kind of depends on the amount of struggle he's giving you, all right? If the groin hit landed, if the neck shot was a hard shot, then you can pretty much do what you want to do. So the idea, again, would be basically to either just turn and trip him down, all right? And be right on top of him here, okay? Or to do it in such a way to where you were still standing and kicking him, all right? But then if these shots were not hard here and here, okay, basically what could happen is that he could begin to move forward towards you in this way to disrupt your balance, in which turn you would pull him down this way and either knee on him and hit, okay, or put him down this way and kick. So again, when it gets into this kind of grappling situation, or grappling if you want to call it, but again, remember what we're doing is entering with hits and wanting to follow up with hitting and not really get into a wrestling match, all right? So again, the idea is that whether I'm in a natural position or some kind of a guard position, is that I parry it, I angle off, and I hit the groin. Slap it, palm heel, fingers, all right? Then I step here, and this would be, if you want to get power, I mean, I could do it this way and this way, but I also could do it this way and this way, all right? This now will be on the outside, the back side, right on the back side of his shoulder, all right, at this point. Okay, and this is across his neck. It could also be his face, all right? It could be the face as well. This is palm up, elbow against. This is here and here. And again, even though we entered with the hit, we want this to be constricted. Not constrictive, percussive, okay? Percussive before we put the pressure on, all right? And again, once you step around this way, it could be a trip, but it could also be a sweep or a throw, all right? Remember the breakdown that we did before. And then lastly, again, like we said, when I went here and here, here, bang, this could be this way before I go in. There's all that headbutt action and shoulder strike or bicep pop, all that stuff is in there. Or if he begins to pressure me in this direction, then basically now I'm talking about going this way, right? Which could also be a trip, a sweep, and a throw, all right? Okay, so that's the idea with the particular technique, which basically is the same thing as me being over here and hitting on the inside of the guy, yet I'm on the outside, right? Okay. So in this one, this is similar to the idea of the meet and pass. Remember this movement here that we did? After on the inside that we went bang like that, okay? Now we're not going to start on the inside because it's a straight shot that we're dealing with, all right? So this and this movement are the same, but the secondary movement is that passing movement with my forearm, okay? And once I begin to make reference touch with his contact with the forearm of his punch, I turn that into an inverted palm strike that turns his head across like this, and then with the inside of the forearm popping into his face and going into a face lock and neck crank. All right, so we're at the first one. I was talking about being on the neck, okay? I said it could also be on the face, on the side of the face, okay? This one in particular, it could be both as well, but the entry does strike and turn his face in such a way to it's really convenient to just stay at that level. And this thing comes up at an angle, so it cuts across the chin, not the chin, the cheek, the jaw bone here on the top of the teeth, into the nose, and then across the face. So it's very painful. You guys, some of you guys have done this with me before, so you know what I'm talking about. So the idea, this one in particular, is a zigzag. Again, I could do something else like, it could be similar to a clothesline technique, where I basically just go this way and run by him, all right? But I'm not talking about that. So I'm talking about actually facing away from and facing towards, okay? Then again, it's the same thing. It pops into the control, okay? Into the shoulder, into the head, or into this shoulder. And then it's the same rundown. Step behind, trip. He pushes against me for whatever Superman reasons, step this way, trip, okay? Step behind, sweep and drop, boom, okay? Step behind, he pushes back, okay? I go this way and sweep, all right? And like I said, again, it could also be an actual throw if we have the ability, all right? So boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, all right? Okay, so when we get into the partner series of the video material, as we start to shoot that stuff in Bangkok, it's going to be, I'm just going to probably do Jeet Kune Do first, okay? And then as I make monthly trips up there, if it turns to work out, then I'll be doing all of this material with the partner training and solo partner equipment, application, and of course sparring, all right? Okay, so that's going to about do it. Again, to review, here and here, I'm on the outside, but I'm striking his inside. Okay? Here and here, I'm on the outside, and I'm over the top of his arm, here and here. Okay? And again, inside the forearm, okay? Elbow down on this one, popping it in this way, then constricting it and turning it into a takedown, but going into striking right away, all right? And the very furthest you want to go down with them is on one knee. And you're trying to drop your knee on their body, all right? You're trying to continue to strike throughout. That is how this is a little bit different, all right? Okay, muchas gracias, and hasta mañana.